Hey guys, welcome to the Learn Feng Shui podcast, where you'll learn Feng Shui from a classical point of view, taking out the myth and superstition. So if you're interested in learning Feng Shui, Chinese astrology, all things Chinese metaphysics, as well as the superstitions and myths that connect it all, you'll enjoy learning Feng Shui with me. Hey guys, let's talk about when unavoidable repairs are needed on your home. So what do we do when unavoidable repairs are needed in our home? What happens when we have those home emergencies that require immediate attention? How does that impact our feng shui? So taking a little lesson from my own book this week, and not necessarily any emergency repairs, but things that required my absolute immediate attention happened to me this week. And, I had all these podcast topics laid out. I had a podcast planned, and this, the home issues really required my immediate attention this week. And so, kind of looking at that really does force you to look at what's going on in that area, what's happening in this certain part of the home, who's it kind of impacting, right? It's kind of forcing us to take a look at that when we were, kind of ignoring that area or not necessarily giving it immediate attention. So this actually happened to me again just this week. My entire home had some kind of issues. My middle son had some issues with his room that was just forced a deep clean. And then upon a refresh of my oldest son's room and kind of, sprucing things up and adding some shelving there, trying to improve the feng shui, I noticed that his mattress was leaking fiberglass. At some point, I'm sure I took the bottom off of the mattress to wash it. I took that mattress pad off and I put the mattress pad back on, but I never zipped it back up. So little known to me, we got this mattress 10 years ago, before the awareness of fiberglass in those foam mattresses was widely available, right? It wasn't really generally known to the public. And so again, just kind of looking, I noticed his was leaking fiberglass. So that actually requires a decontamination of the space, and it does require a very careful removal of the item. And so everything from finding an air scrubber to, making sure you pick up that extra fiberglass in with a vacuum that has a HEPA filter, right? It's just this intense process that shouldn't be required when disposing of a mattress. So, or else you actually do risk contamination to the rest of your home. So that's what I was dealing with this week, but it really did kind of force me to look at what's going on and, kind of force this topic, what do we do when unavoidable repairs are needed in our home? Let's kind of just take a look at a few points, and let me give you my opinion. Okay, so number one, never take the mattress cover off of your mattress to wash it. So that mattress cover is there for a reason, especially if it says do not remove. Do not remove it. So that's lesson number one. Number two, really, is just to go ahead and make those repairs. So I think that we can really get stressed out and look at hey, what's going on with the energy in our home? Oh no, there's, this star here, there's this energy here. That means I can't make the repair. But, sometimes in reality, those repairs are very desperately needed. Don't wait to make those repairs, to wait for a specific energy or a good energy in an area. To me, it's worse to leave something broken and unrepaired in the sector than it is to avoid it and risk activating a so-called negative energies. So again, sometimes these energies come in and sometimes they're activated by repair, but especially when they can't wait. If something's leaking, if something needs to be, what if you're having to dig the flooring out for, to fix a leaky pipe and stuff? Don't wait for that. Don't wait and don't overstress about that. Okay. So just go ahead and make those repairs. And so number three, that from my perspective is kind of forcing you also to make those improvements in your environment and forcing you to really look at what's going on and who it's impacting in the area. So for me, the issues I was having in my home this week really made me look at both of my son's rooms and look at what's going on there. My middle son, his room's actually in the northwest, and we all know that if you practice flying stars, that is afflicted by the 5 flying star for the year. And so for me, there was we were having to move a lot of stuff around and just, we had to sanitize his room too. And so just looking at, having to move everything, those flying stars are activated by movement. But does it worry me that the 5 flying star may be active? Not necessarily. And kind of just looking at the technicalities of it, the 5 flying star doesn't have very much impact in the Northwest, number 1. Number 2, we can also calm that energy down. So there is Feng Shui activations that we can do to help calm the energy down, almost like performing acupuncture on your home. It like triggers a specific energy to calm the rest of the house. So, knowing that, if you ever have issues after you make repairs and stuff, shoot me a message and I'll help you find a spot in your home to do a little house acupuncture, so to speak. Okay. So again, kind of over worrying and overthinking about that, but again, it really is forcing you to make changes. And so for me, it impacting both my sons, really kind of forced me to look at, okay, so the bed represents, your relationships. It represents also your career and work and like your self-worth. Your bed's very important to you. And so when you're forced to update your bed, so to speak, it's really forcing a change, I think, internally. And so for me, that's perfectly okay. Even though it was something we planned to do later on, my son didn't actually have a headboard. And me, the Feng Shui practitioner, always say, put a headboard on your bed. It's very important. It's very important for life, just in general. Didn't have a headboard on my son's bed, and again, it was something we're like, oh, let's do this year, let's go ahead and buy that, make that purchase for him. But it just forced us to make that change. So I'm actually excited about what kind of changes it will help make in his life. Okay. And so, yeah, just look at what's kind of being impacted. And remember that energy can always kind of be calmed down. So the next time you're forced to do a repair or you encounter a forced repair, just remember that it could be the universe kind of nudging you forward to progress and improvement. All right, so again, just a quick little abbreviated episode to keep you guys updated and not leave with no episode at all for the week. So we'll be back next week with our regularly scheduled full-length episode, and it's going to cover a pretty important but often overlooked Feng Shui topic, which is soil quality. We're going to talk about why soil quality is important and what it means to your home. So we'll be discussing that. Just a quick little announcement. So monthly, it's kind of utilizing the features that I have on my website and stuff like that. So stick with me for a second. So monthly, I've been looking at the monthly energy update and going over the blog posts that goes with that energy update live on my Facebook group. I feel like it is the best and easiest way where people can actually see the video without it getting lost, right? So that'll be up on the Facebook group. The video is available to rewatch also. And I just go over the blog for the month and answer, Feng Shui questions. So that's been kind of a nice little thing that I've done. But again, it's the easiest to do on Facebook. So if you have Facebook, join me in that Linktree description down below. I do have all the links. So for the free energy mapping that I offer and for the Facebook group and the monthly blog post that I put up, that's a companion. So utilize that Linktree down below. I even have a call-in feature. I don't know. I get some call-ins every now and then, but I don't advertise it enough or I don't talk about it enough, but there is a call-in and ask questions link below where you can actually just call and ask me a Feng Shui question. I would love to do another Feng Shui Q&A. That's probably one of my favorite and most underdone topics is those Feng Shui Q&A questions. So if you want to submit a question for that, you can call in or just shoot me an email. Everything is linked in that link tree below. So again, you guys have an amazing Mother's Day, and I'm going to throw an ad in real quick, and that's it, guys. You'll have a great day.
For a free energy mapping of your floor plan, please check the link in the show notes. To support today's podcast, go to learnfengshuinow.com Sign up for emails, leave a review, and share with your family and friends.